market your own independent video games. I know we have a lot of indie publishers here that might be interested in learning more about that. So again, welcome to our first panel of the day, and here is Stan Rizan.
Thank you. How's everyone doing? Okay, so just a little about me. My name is, as it was said, my name is Stan Rizan. I am the editor of 8-Bit Digi. It's an online publication that mostly focuses on the gaming community and industry of the Bay Area, which the Bay Area has a lot of. I also have a really solid background in media. Started off in my college newspaper, interned for the Metro Silicon Valley, and on the side I'm also the editor-in-chief of Level Up Media. It's also another game publication that just started out. Okay, so the goal of this panel is the following. To have a solid understanding of why you need to take marketing seriously, how to learn how to market your games effectively and on a budget, and also have a solid understanding of the media landscape that you're going to be facing. So we're going to start with part one: why you need to take marketing seriously. Now, let me just be clear about this. Now, I'm just an editor for a little game blog. I don't work in the gaming industry, technically. But the reason I've started this panel is because I go to a lot of events in San Francisco, like trying to think anything by Playcrafting, SFO, game dev meetups. There's always a lot of great talented people showcasing their game, but when it comes to marketing, they're pretty awful at it. In fact, actually, I want to start off with the story of how I came up with this panel. Back in May, I was at a convention. I meet these game developers. They had this amazing AR fantasy game. I liked it. I was hooked on it. But this was the biggest problem they had. Now, if you're thinking I'm talking about an event that happened at FamilyCon, then congratulations, you are smarter than the marketing team for this game company, because they were at the Augmented World Expo and they were trying to get audience feedback. Anyone familiar with the Augmented World Expo? Okay, so the Augmented World Expo is a AR, VR industry conference. It's one of the largest in the world. And it's usually at the end of May, literally right after FamilyCon. But this is the problem thing, like I said, it's an industry con, so people are there on industry business, and gaming is not their forte. There are going to be some AR and VR games, but it's mostly industry based. So to be there with a high fantasy AR game is not the best idea. They should have gone to FamilyCon, where you could easily spot their fan because it's the guy cosplaying as a Dark Souls character. Alright, so let's continue with the panel of my little stories. Okay, so first of all, the key thing to understand is that right now there is too much competition in the market. Now, Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz is one of the best game development classes in the world, ranked among the top 10. But then you also have a lot of like developer boot camps in San Francisco that's either specializes in Unity or Unreal Engine. And if you've mastered the art of educating yourself, there are tons of videos online that can teach you how to program using Unity or Unreal. Also, thanks to digital marketplaces, like I said, it's pretty easy to make a game and just upload it. So again, the competition is tough. And this is also the biggest problem a lot of people have in marketing is they believe the myth of organic marketing. Just one moment, please. Yeah, sorry about that. So, organic marketing. Maybe everybody is hoping that their game goes viral. That's like winning the lottery. You're putting your chances to luck. And maybe 15 years ago, it could have been possible when social media was new and cat videos were very few. But again, strong, high competition for every Five Nights at Freddy's for a game that goes viral. There's going to be hundreds, maybe thousands of good horror games that are often underlooked. And again, you don't want to put your chance on luck. You want to take control of your own destiny. And finally, the most important thing, your biggest competition as an indie developer isn't AAA games or the guys that made it big. It's total garbage. Again, like I said, anybody can post a game on Steam, and a lot of these stores don't have great quality control. In fact, the only digital stores I know that have quality control would just be the Oculus store and Nintendo's online store. Everyone else lets anyone post anything, and of course you'll be competing with a lot of garbage. And not helping is that you've got YouTube, like streamers and influencers, who dedicate their channel to promoting this, talking about this garbage, and giving them free publicity. Okay, now we're going to move on to making your marketing plan. Okay, most important thing, actually have a plan. Don't wing it, you're going to fail. Don't rely on luck. Luck's never on your side. You need to understand what your strengths are, what your weakness, and what you can be working on. And at the same time, you got to know who is your audience. Who is your game made for? And so now you're asking, what can you do? Well, there's actually plenty of options available that you can do, and a lot of this marketing stuff is actually fairly inexpensive. You could either do it for free or on a very shoestring budget. You just got to be resourceful. And most important of all, you got to do a lot of research. Don't go for the first options available. Don't go for the first media tools available. Try to find the best but free stuff as possible. There's some things you gotta pay, but very few. But again, look at your options first before paying for it. Okay, now this is gonna be a short one on social media. I know a lot of people say they don't like social media, but you don't have that option here. You gotta embrace social media. You gotta have especially you gotta have an active Facebook page, an active Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, updated regularly. And now a lot of people will ask, okay, what is social media advertising? And I always tell them, think of it as it's an ad that could connect to your audience on a more personal level. And the biggest mistake a lot of people will make on social media is treating it like a billboard. Don't treat your social media platform as a billboard. Treat it like an extension of yourself, and treat your audience not as an audience, but as a part of your community. You want them to actually feel like you understand them, you can connect with them, you personally built this game for them. And now we'll come to the don'ts of social media. It should be obvious, but sometimes people need to be told about this, but don't be boring. Make your social media platform fun. Don't feed the trolls. I know we like to argue sometimes, but don't ever argue with the trolls. Just if they say something stupid, just delete the comment. And don't fight the fans. You're gonna have critics, but if you try to fight them, well, look up Streisand effect and you'll know what I'm talking about. But also it makes you look bad. Sometimes your game might have problems. Listen to the fans and try to fix it and work with them. Because the louder the fan is, the more of an influence they have, and that could work towards your favor or against your favor. Okay, now this is going to be the more difficult part of this marketing plan, meeting your public. Okay, so Well, a lot of mistakes I've seen indie developers make is they try to only, well, one of the biggest mistakes is they try to only promote their games through social media, if they accept the fact that going viral is not a good plan. So you need to get out there and show your game. And especially here in the Bay Area, there are plenty of opportunities, either meetups, game dev events, and of course, a variety of fan conventions. I mean, if you're an indie developer, you could have probably brought your game here and showcased it. Okay, Meetup night. Anyone familiar with Meetup.com? You were there. All right, so Meetup.com, there's plenty of groups, especially in the Bay Area, since it's so tech heavy. There's going to be a lot of game dev meetups, a lot of VR dev meetups, a lot of indie game dev meetups, and just gamer meetups that you could be a part of or establish your own and try to attract other like-minded individuals or your fans. You could also, there's also, I'm trying to think, so it's a lot, it's actually really good publicity. Or you can go to other events that are being hosted, like Playcraft and SFO. They're gonna have they have 4 or 5, I think 4 nights like during the year in which indie game developers could showcase their work, have a table set up for you, show your game to people. And you see a lot of good talent. There's a lot of good talent there. It's also a good way to not only showcase your game to your audience, but also to get some feedback from other developers and of course media personalities such as myself. They had game dev drink ups. This is actually, I would highly recommend going to this one because it's organized by a couple of indie game developers and also a couple of fellow people who work in the major game industries. They get together, people come out, have a few drinks, people are showcasing their game, networking around. Some people are looking for developers, some are looking for investors, some are just looking for feedback. And it's a great way to get your name out there and also to learn how to either improve your work or how to better promote your work. There's also, of course, the game pitch night. That's a once-a-month event in San Francisco where indie developers present their game to an audience of other indie developers and get some feedback. I already talked about Playcraft and the game dev meetups. Or better yet, you can even host your own event. You partner with a small venue or an e-sport arena, and especially if your game is it could be more competitive. Host a special promotional night. Partner with a bar. Set up a couple of game tables. It's again, you gotta do it on a budget. So make sure that you can arrange something so you don't have to pay anything. Okay, now we come to fan conventions. Now, this is one of the biggest problems I've seen among indie developers is they don't. Is that the Bay Area is rich in fan conventions. This Saturday alone, I'm guessing there's 5 fan conventions in the Bay Area that's happening right now. That's a golden opportunity to present your game to the general public, get some feedback, get your name out there. And especially since it's in your own backyard, you've just eliminated a lot of the traveling costs. There might be some costs such as the gas to get there, parking, maybe buy a table, but it's worth it when you get to showcase your project to a small audience and to get some feedback. Or better yet, host a panel about your game. That way you talk about, because conventions, they want to make their events interesting. They want special guests, indie developers, and they want to promote their game. It's a win-win. They work together. Okay, here are a couple of examples of cons in the Bay Area. Now you got from small to mid-size. You got Central Coast Pop-Culture Expo, which is here. Hey, it's a great convention so far. You also got CampbellCon that's happening. You got KyobiCon, Anime Destiny over in Berkeley, Monterey Comic Con, Stockton Con, CubaCon, Mag West. Right, and then you got major conventions such as Silicon Valley Comic Con. That I think the last event brought in around 65,000 guests. You got SAC Anime both in the winter and the summertime. They bring in around like 20,000 guests. Now, especially if you're a gamer, bring your game to FanimeCon. It's 24/7. It has an audience of 30,000 people from around the world. It's basically Burning Man for anime fans because people will go out of their way to go there. It's a magical event, but that's another good place to go. Crunchyroll Expo. If you can't go to PAX Prime, Crunchyroll is the best alternative you can go to. If your game is more built for the esport arena audience, there's Genesis in Oakland, and if you're a high fantasy game, Pacific Con Game Expo happens also around the same time as SAC Anime and Crunchyroll Expo. So now you're asking, what about major cons like E3, PAX, or Anime Expo? Now, a lot of indie developers, when they want to go to fan events, they try to go to the big ones, like the ones that get at least 100,000 people. Nothing wrong with it, actually. You get maximum exposure because a huge number of people show up. You have a major presence of major people from the media industry. You also have other indie developers. Good opportunity to network around too. Lots of things going on there. However, competition is really tough. Again, a lot of if you got like major AAA developers there, they're definitely going to be the center of attention there. The large crowds also make it more difficult to navigate, so you're not going to see as much stuff. Anyone been stuck in LineCon? All right, so everyone prefers the small cons. Then that's okay. That was actually much really a joke, since I've actually met major guests who have actually turned down offers to go to San Diego Comic-Con or E3 for a more smaller venue because they don't want to deal with the crowd. And most important of all these major cons going to them, it's expensive. It can chunk you out like a huge chunk of your budget if you even have that budget at all. Finally, we come to the table to promote your game, or just buy a couple of GDC tickets and just market your game like guerrilla style. There's like people who will set up a booth like somewhere on the side, but they're not supposed to, getting people to play their game. Happens all the time. Or you can always go to the GDC after parties. There's a lot of them. I know my friend literally hosted 6 of them during the week. I have another friend that hosted one like 7 days out of the whole GDC. I know a couple of studios even had their own secret parties. You can try to get into those. Point is, if you're a developer, GDC is where you've got to be. Now we come to something I'm actually an expert on, working with the media. So let's first get a good definition of who is the media. First, you got major outlets like IGN, Kotaku, Polygon. Then you got the mid-sized media outlets such as Geek HQ, Silicon Valley Global News. Followed by you got commentators like Young Yi and Chip Sterling. Then you got smaller outlets and bloggers like Last Token Gaming and a couple good friends of mine, a couple of them. And then you got YouTube channels like Boosted Gaming and Joe After Work. Then you got podcasters and streamers. Basically, the media is a really wide term, and it can be, but you got plenty of opportunities for people to reach out to. But first, you also need to know the media. there's too many media outlets out there. Some are too broad, especially like major media outlets, and some are kind of specialized in niche content or specifically indie titles. I don't understand that a lot of indie developers, you will not have an abundance of game codes to give out from reviews, and you've got to be selective of who you want to give your review codes to or who you want to talk to. Well, like going to E3 or PAX, I know the ideal situation would be to try to reach out to the major media outlets because, again, they're big, they have a wider audience, so it gives you maximum exposure. However, same problem applies when you're looking at same problem as the major cons. Now, for example, myself, on average, I'll probably get 100 emails a day, gaming related. I'm not even going to count the spam emails I get or the countless blockchain emails I get. So try to imagine how, if you're someone at IG, how many emails they get a day. One of my friends who used to work for a major publication would tell me he would get like 1,000 emails a day at least. This was mostly on the weekends. But come Monday, he wouldn't check his emails until Monday, so he probably had like 4,000 emails by Monday. So again, your email, your message, your press release, it's gonna get lost in the mail. So the obvious solution would be to reach out to independent media outlets, but it's kind of a vague term because there's a lot of independent media outlets out there. So who can you trust? Who is legit? Who has credibility and who's actually out there just doing this for free games? So here's something to look out for. When it comes to their Facebook, YouTube page, or Twitter pages, whatever their main social media pages, make sure they have at least 1,000 followers. I mean, 1,000 followers is a safe number. It's still small, but at least it shows they have an audience. Make sure they're also active on social media or their website's active. I mean, if someone hasn't posted something in a year, you don't want to waste a code on them. You want to make sure they're posting regularly. Also check their Alexa score and make sure it's under 2 million. I mean, Alexa or any kind of rating system, rating system to see if they have a legitimate audience number. Or if you want, or you can just skip all that and just fly one at a local fan convention. There's plenty of us out there. Media to avoid. Now, you obviously want to avoid anyone with a low follower count because they're either just starting to develop or they're not as active or they're not really consistent. Anyone controversial you want to avoid because you really don't need that negativity involved in your life. Avoid anyone who's involved, anyone infamous for plagiarizing. We all know who we're talking about. Avoid shock jocks. They're just clowns trying to who think they're edgy and avoid anybody who lacks any kind of activity because they might not be the best to reach out to. Now I'm finally come to the last part of my presentation on being creative. This is gonna be a short one because, despite everything I've said, you can be open to do whatever you can to promote your game. Like when I talk about coming to a panel like this and presenting your game, do it while wearing cosplay of your characters. I mean, one game developer I talked to at the last game dev meetup, one person had this working on this dating game. I told him, hey, present it at FanimeCon at 1 a.m. in the morning. Of course, they're just some examples. You can do so much. So, final thought. Remember, make social media part of your marketing plan and not the marketing plan. Make it public. Don't just hide behind a screen. Go to as many local fan conventions as you can. And especially here in the Bay Area, we have a ton of them. And finally, reach out to local medias or a variety of media outlets to help promote your game because if they have a good audience and a trusted reputation, they can get the word out of your game a lot quicker. So, but open to any questions anyone has, and if anyone asks questions, help yourself to some sweet prizes. All stuff I picked up at other conventions like T-shirts, tote bags. Ask away.